So for the next person I'm going to interview this guy called JayJay Live. He's got about 608,000 followers on Instagram as of now, and he's gotten over 50 million views on YouTube, right? Spoken in 30 plus countries, and he has helped so many people grow their Instagram and grow their following. And later on, I'm going to be interviewing him on exactly how he does it and all his secret strategies, and you're going to learn so much from this.
Oh, okay, sure, bro.
What's up? This is Alaric Ong, and today I'm here with JayJay. He's also known as Joshua Jayaweera, and he has 600,000 Instagram followers, 50 million views on YouTube, and he also runs a PR and digital agency where he shows people how to increase their reputation and the attention that people get. Okay, so welcome to the show, JayJay.
What's up, man? We're gonna give your people some energy, some enthusiasm, some excitement. But hey, also what I want to do as well is I want to give your people, everyone listening right now, the ability to take what I can tell you and use it. Because I don't know if you're like me, I don't want you guys to be excited and well, that guy's got a lot of energy. And then what happens in 2 days, man? Everyone's back to square one. I don't want that. I want you to be moved from this conversation today. So that's the move today. That's what I want to do.
All right. So how about you share with us, how do you manage to grow your Instagram at such a crazy rate? I mean, yesterday you were at 580K followers. Right now you're at 600K followers. I think by the time this video is up, you're going to be at 700K followers. So yeah, share with us your success story.
Well, sure, man. Look, let's go back 16 years. You know, 16 years ago, I wanted to tell the world who I am, what I do, and I wanted to stand on many stages and do that. And so far, I've been able to speak in 30 countries, and I've worked with some of the biggest companies in the world, BMW, Virgin, Coca-Cola, McDonald's. But throughout that experience, throughout that time, I leveraged social media to really get people to notice me because people were looking at me online. They were Googling me, or at the time they were YouTubing me. So at the time I was a magician, right? And I grew a YouTube channel to 55 million views on YouTube back in the day when YouTube was popping. And I really understood the power of leveraging your social to, for me at the time, get myself more events, more work, right? But now in the space of helping entrepreneurs and businesses blow up online, I understood the power of not about getting numbers, but more so getting influence. And higher numbers, more people looking at your work, right? More press articles about you. What does that say to other people? Well, these people must be important. They must know what they're talking about. And that's called influence. So when you have higher influence, more people like you, trust you, and want to do business with you.
I see. So how do you grow? Are there any strategies or tactics that you can share?
Yeah, sure. Well, first thing I always tell people, before you give me any money, before you spend any money on your branding, right? You should be using what you have in front of you for free. You have your time, you have your confidence, and you have social media, which is a free platform to press a button and you can upload your message. So most people want to sit in the strategy so much they never execute. So what I recommend anybody listening right now is, hey, start by putting up. Most people I work with don't put up enough content, right? They sit for way too long, or they just go, well, I put up a photo. No, you got to be telling people now, right? You have to be super, super clear. When someone looks at your page, they need to know, I know what this guy does, and I know how he can help, whether I use him now or not. And I think a lot of people, man, and a lot of people listening, the first thing I do with people is that I look at their brand online. I Google them. And if it's not super clear, right? Like super clear or at least somewhat clear, then I'm like, first we need to fix that. So the first thing everyone can do right now, here's your first move. When you guys watch the video, put up a piece of content telling people what you do. You don't have to try and sell them or get them onto your business or program or company. How about telling people, hey guys, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is what I'm looking for. If you're interested, let me know.
So
you do that.
Yeah.
You do that a couple of times a week. You would change the messaging, right? You would have different types of pieces of content. But at the end of the day, people aren't telling people enough. They're waiting for the phone to be picked, to the email to come in, or the phone call to be rung. Dude, you got to be promoting.
Yeah. So what's your content schedule like? Like how often do you post on Instagram? How often do you post on YouTube and Facebook? And like how do you manage the whole strategy? I mean, Gary Vee has his own strategy. What's yours?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So look, Gary Vee has his own interesting way. I don't know why he said that whole 60 or 70 pieces of content. Did he say that a day? Was it a day or a week? It was pretty intense. I don't know what he
Yeah.
said. I'm always curious to know why he would have ever said that, but that's another story. Look, what I recommend, this is the easiest thing I can tell people. Let's start with 3 pieces of content a week, right? That's like working out 3 times a week, right?
Yeah.
So first thing is you want to have up, and if everyone's taking notes, first thing you want to have is you want to have a photo or a time in your life that means a lot to you. It could be you moving to another country, could be you getting married, could be you eating a burger. I don't know, but that's called your personal brand, right? People want to get to know you. So find 4 photos, that's for a month, right? And it could be, and you could have a story underneath that of usually something about you and your business or relating to your business. So for example, I might put up a photo of me moving to a country and saying, I didn't know anyone. I was scared. I was lost. I was lonely, but I realized I had, at the time, I think 20 million views on YouTube. So I leveraged that power to get to know people. Now, why that works is it's opening up. I'm being transparent of who I am, but I'm also leveraging what I do for a living to share with people how that helped me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're using a story, right? Second piece of content, you want to put up an educational piece of advice about your industry. If you're an accountant, tell everybody something interesting about accountancy. Like, hey, when's the best time to do your accounts or your tax? I don't know. Like, you're supposed to be the expert, okay? Like, you're supposed to give value of like your industry. So that's the second piece of content. Third piece of content is results. People don't want a chatterbox. They want to see other people that have had success from what you've done to help them. So a testimonial, a screenshot, even just an email thread of like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. This is really working. So you do that, a personal photo, a testimonial, and some kind of educational expert value tip. You do that 3 times over the weeks. That's 12 times in the month. That's great. That's a perfect enough content to get people to go, okay, this is who he is. This is why I can trust him, and this is why he's helping me.
So, does what you share help for Instagram, or is it across the board, like Instagram, YouTube,
Yeah, I should have referenced. That's Instagram. YouTube, it's a little bit different. YouTube, I definitely still recommend, it's a little bit more of it's a tedious work. YouTube, you've really got to be consistent. There's a lot more variables to the play here. But for my own personal focus, it's really Instagram, right? Because I know how to play it well. And in YouTube now, I'm not saying you shouldn't post on YouTube. It is a lot harder to get traction from an organic growth point of view.
So how do you get 50 million views? Was it just from magic, or like what was the content that you were creating?
It was magic. Yeah. So, but it was 3 videos a week for 6 years straight.
Wow.
That's okay. People want the secret. Dude, I put in, 3 videos a week for 6 years straight. I tweaked some things about the copy and the timeline, the header and a few things like that. But man, if you're consistent and you're constantly trying to grow, right? You constantly are building that kind of audience, right? And giving people what they want, it's sort of like, how can you lose here?
Yeah.
It's just that no one has time. No one wants to if I said to you, hey man, listen, you're going to be a multi-millionaire, but it's going to take 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, right? Maybe 7, but let's just say 6 days a week for 5 years straight, blood, sweat, and tears. You're going to cry. You're going to not be able to date. You may be able to date. You might not be able to go to friends' parties. Would you do it? Most people don't want to hear that.
I would still do it.
There you go. Yeah, because you've been playing this game, and I've been playing it so long. But I think a lot of people now, they're not willing to consistently do something long enough to find out whether it's firstly for them, and then secondly, if it's going to work.
Good. So, okay, so let's say my shoes, right? So I'm a coach. I've got about 1,300 paid clients. And right now I've been focusing on building my brand. So I've interviewed a lot of successful people like JT Foxx, Cardone, Marcos Moura, and everything, and you, in fact, right? So,
yes.
How would you leverage? So first of all, how would you edit this video? So, like, I heard like most people, the template of a video would be a hook at the start, and then maybe an outro, maybe a opening billboard, and then the content, and then an outro. what's your template for creating a video of an interview or
So at the end of the day, with videos, you got to get their attention, So I would take a little snippet of the video that's really impactful, right? Do what Ellen did. So Ellen, what she would do is she would put up a funny clip from her show, then slice up the clips and then take those clips and then put them on Instagram or YouTube. And then for you to go watch the whole show, you have to go to their website.
Got it.
That would be it. So you're giving them a taste of what you do, and then hey, go watch this. Go to someone else.
Got it. So I can definitely do that. But okay, in terms of and do I have to cut out a snippet and put it at the start of the YouTube video?
I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I think it keeps people's attention.
Yeah.
Remember, think of it like people are walking inside of a nightclub, right? And you've got 50 nightclubs, but you're allowed to quickly peek in. That's what people are doing with the YouTube channel. They're going to quickly look at it. If it's engaging, okay, I'm going to go inside. If it's not, I'm going to look somewhere else. So you got to remember, your attention is the new currency. So you got to literally go, how do I get their attention, keep their attention, and then be consistent as well, And I think too, man, like with everybody listening, I think one of the reasons why it's so challenging now to be consistent with this, because you don't get the return of result from likes, views, from people wanting to watch your stuff. It takes a long time. That's why people work with me, because I can literally go, I know how it feels. I've done it before, but this is what you can do to get to the next level faster. You don't need to do you got to pay to play, as we say.
Yeah. So do you run any ads on your own channels?
No, I don't run ads, but I use strategies on how to build my Instagram, right? So, and I also use strategy to be able to get instant exposure and authority. So being able to put you and your brand into an article, back in the day, if you wanted to get into a publication, you'd either have to pay a PR agency a lot of money, right? Or you'd have to be somewhat famous or have an amazing story. Or what's the old way? You have to email the editor. Then they have a million emails. They're not looking at you. So now people have me to go, hey, I can help you articulate your message a little bit, and then I can go straight to the editor and say, put it to the top of the pile. And they go, done.
I see. Okay, cool. Okay, what other questions do I have? Okay, and maybe you can share, like, how do you transition from being a magician to where you are now?
Well, man, I was a magician for a long time, then I worked on television, and then I worked as a speaker. I ran a nightclub. I lived in Asia for a long time. For me, it's always been people. But the problem that I had, man, for so long, it was never really the work ethic or the consistency. It was like, I didn't know where I was meant to be. I didn't know who I was meant to be. I'm still figuring it out, but I really feel like at this stage, I'm getting clearer, For a long time, I wasn't really happy, man. I was doing what I had to do to get through to the next paycheck, to get through to the next step. And then along that journey, I would try something different, but I'd always have to come back to that to make money, right?
Yeah.
So even if I was working for myself, I felt trapped. I didn't like it. It was not a good feeling, but it took me a long time to figure out what industry and which people I was meant to work with and help. Awesome. So yeah, with Corona, man, I lost a lot of opportunities. I lost everything, right? My confidence, my certainty, my clarity. But now I realized it was the best thing that happened to me, because I had to really focus on what I actually wanted to do. And now I'm in a place where we've helped 100 people, over hundreds of people in 12 countries so far with the new business. And, I get to, I wouldn't have been able to get this opportunity to speak with you if I didn't get on an app like Clubhouse and get to learn and share my story. So it's amazing what can happen when you allow yourself to figure out where you need to go.
So if you can, could you share some growth hacks or strategies to grow your Instagram? If you don't mind sharing, however generous you are, either 1 tip, 2, 3 tips, 3 tips.
I'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Like, do you hashtags, hashtag strategy,
right.
Using liking and following people, commenting, engagement groups, all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to give you what I think is the best thing.
Okay.
But it's going to take some work. What you're doing right now is the best, man. You're interviewing other people, hearing about their success. We immediately now have a connection.
Yeah.
right? You're putting me on the pedestal of
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're the leader or you're the star right now, and let me
Mm-hmm.
learn.
Yeah.
So if I can, for people, the best way is to interview them, and then they will hopefully share the video,
Mm-hmm.
the content with their list. That's one of the best ways. Number two is be able to do some kind of collaboration to give their people something of value that the people will like. For example, when I was a magician
Mm-hmm.
in you doing YouTube, I would do a magic trick to a famous blogger's list,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of course, she's having a great time. What do vloggers need? They need attention.
Yeah.
So I would give her something, right? So to, oh my gosh, magic trick, that's content. She needs
Uh-huh.
content. They run out of ideas. So
Okay.
she has that content now, make it so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's going to share it with her people. And of course, you're going to be the leverage of those people. Like, who's that guy in the clip with her?
Mm-hmm.
So being able to do collaborations, you know. The other thing as well is, if I were you, everyone listening, I would also leverage other people's groups to speak on. So if you're an expert or if you know something about something, you should go and speak to other people who have got groups
Mm-hmm.
of the same interest and go talk to them. So go on Facebook groups. This is a great move. Go on Facebook groups
Mm-hmm.
and look for the group. Let's say you're a coach. Now, let's say you're a coach that specializes in helping women get their sexy back after divorce,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
you go to a group in Facebook that has those kind of people. You get to know the host,
Mm-hmm.
get to know the owner of the group,
Mm-hmm.
befriend them, right? And say, listen, I want to just create something. I would love to speak to your group for free. I'd like to
Mm-hmm.
share my story, and I think this could help you. Why that works is, one, you get access to all of her people.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to speak, they're going to like you, they're going to follow you. You do that, you do that a lot, man. That's a great way to start building your exact people that you want to talk to.
So just through a lot of collaborations and getting them to share to their list, and then you share to your own list, and then I realized that's how Gary V built his brand as well, by doing a lot of collaborations with.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
cool. Any other things you want to share? Like any other
Yeah.
tips you want to share? Yeah.
Look, guys, understand it's going to take time. Like, don't expect that you're going to put a piece of content out and then it's just going to work.
Mm-hmm.
One I will tell you to do, everybody, though, is you have to understand, use the content and then have conversation about that content. Meaning of this, you need to be reaching out to people. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
expect to be posting stuff to Instagram and
Mm-hmm.
then sit back. I posted my post today. And
Mm-hmm.
how come I'm not getting any phone calls?
Yeah.
Use Instagram as your business card, as your website, as a
Mm-hmm.
place of people to look at you. But that should just be one small element of your day. That should be one small element of a way to be marketing. You need to be having conversations about who you are, right? And either you've got to advertise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either you've got to be spending money on marketing, or do what I did for ages. Go
Mm-hmm.
out and meet more people.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, this is what I do. Hey man, I love to interview you, or I love to give something to your group of people, and then be consistent and follow up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What do you think about the strategy of reposting content that you posted maybe 3 months ago or 6 months ago? Like Gary Vee, sometimes like you see his videos that was from 2018 or 2016.
right?
What do
Right.
you think about that strategy?
I think it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think it's fine. Man, at the end
Yeah.
of the day, people don't remember. People don't remember a lot of things what they had. People don't really remember that much. Like, yeah, you might have seen that, but most people wouldn't have seen that. So
Yeah.
being able to leverage it, it's really fine. At the end of the day, unless you're constantly doing that over and over again, and people are like, he doesn't even have new content, right? The content's it's constantly going, you
Yeah.
know. So for me, like, I tend not to need to at the moment because I'm constantly thinking of stuff. I'm constantly doing stuff, but I have no problems with that.
So most of the time when people post a content, it will be shared to their followers, let's say for Instagram, right? But how do you make it such that the content is like an outreach thing where that content has a chance of getting on the people's explore page, or you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That becomes a little bit more technical, but using correct hashtags do help. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to Google your hashtags, but everyone does that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just think people should less worry about trying to get their content on the explore page
Uh-huh.
and try to speak to the people that
Mm.
really can and that they can really help. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're too worried sometimes on making the piece of content so perfect
Mm-hmm.
that we forget about what are we doing this for,
Mm.
right? We think people care. They don't really care.
Yeah.
Like unless you're a designer and you're selling design services, maybe. But dude, like I've never lost an opportunity because someone said, "Hey Jay, I really felt the color scheme on the photo didn't resonate with me."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like people go, dude, I saw it. I like that. I like that point. Of course, you can't have anything. Don't just put anything up, but don't spend so long. And to bring it back to your point, I wouldn't even be worried about that. If people start asking me about that, I would say, great. How much money did you make today? Let's talk about that when you start bringing in cash flow. Like you can worry about that later, man.
Yeah. Got it. So, okay, for me, I'm thinking like a marketer, right? So, because that's what, my business is about, marketing. So,
Right.
because the running ads or what is, how do you reach a core market, like a core audience? How do you have outreach, and how do you acquire new leads? I would say posting content is more of like, how do you nurture the leads? Like if posting 3 times a week to your followers, that's how you nurture the leads to eventually become a sale. So, so how do you acquire more leads in this game organically? Yeah.
Content would be a good start.
Okay.
I would say, like, honestly speaking, like, my background is speaking. So like learning how to get on people's stages and talk is really the fastest way, because when you speak, you come from a presence of authority.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen, I can get you the followers. You can work with me. We can put you in a campaign where we can get you a lot of followers. So we can build you up. We can put you in the press. I can make you look pretty. But at the end of the day, eventually you're going to have to speak. Eventually you're going to have to tell people what's up. And if you can't get people's attention, if you can't learn how to articulate yourself, right, someone else is going to come through and take that. So I'm biased because I'm a speaker, but I really, guys, like, and even for you, man, like, I know you're a marketer guy, like, and you're already doing interviews. You're now practicing how to communicate. And dude, that trumps all, because at the end of the day, if let's say ClickFunnels goes down tomorrow, let's say the internet goes, you know what, no one's allowed to sell anymore marketing wise. It's never going to happen. But let's say they change something, right? Let's say Instagram goes down. Hey man, what does it come down to now? We're going to go, well, we're going to talk to someone, I got to write something, So I think for most people, just start to either skill up to public speak or start speaking more.
Great. So if someone wants to look for you, what are the services that you can offer? And share more about your business and all that. Yeah.
Sure. Well, anyone listening right now, listen, attention is the new currency. If you're out there working hard on your business, putting the time in, doing the content, trying to get more sales, trying to get more leads, listen, I can help you. And the way we can do that is this. There's 3 ways to get your attention right now when you work with my agent. First way is we're going to grow your social media.
Okay.
More numbers, more comments means more likability, right?
Yeah.
Step 2, we're going to put you in the press. So we can put you in the Forbes, put you in Business Insider. It really depends on how much money you want to spend on your brand. And 3, I'm going to give you the right strategy. I'm going to take a look at everything you're doing and give you the simple steps to get to the next level faster. I don't want to overcomplicate it for you, right? So guys, there are 3 ways you work with me. 1, we grow your socials. 2, we put you in the press. And 3, we give you strategy. And if that's of interest, do me a favor, go on my Instagram, send me a DM at JayJay Live, JayJayLive, and say you saw me on, it's Alaric, right?
Yeah, Alaric.
Yeah, Alaric's
YouTube video.
podcast,
Yeah, YouTube video. Yeah.
And I'm going to look after you. I'll give you something for free, but you got to say that, because otherwise I'm not going to know where you're from.
Got it. Sounds good, man. All right. So those of you who are watching, make sure you like this video, comment what are the 3 biggest takeaways, share this with your friends, and of course follow JayJay Live, and also message him and mention my name, and you'll get a free bonus from him. All right. Thank you so much for being on the show, and
Awesome.
take care.